Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Oldish TV. The sun is shining, the flowers are blooming, the birds are singing. I am feeling so much happier in my soul these days with all of those things going on. And happiness is what I want to talk with you about today. I promised you last week that this week we would talk about something more joyful. Welcome to the show. My name is Karen, and it is my pleasure to share my happiness with you. You know, over the past year and a half, our lives have become very narrow because of the pandemic. Our worlds have shrunk, our social engagement has diminished considerably, and the opportunities for us to get out and volunteer, share our gifts, shop, do the regular things that we have been used to doing in life for however many years we've been alive, they have all been taken from us in stages and in varying degrees, depending on where you live in the world. I know we have viewers all over the world. Here in Canada, we have, and in the province where I live, we have been under a stay-at-home order three separate times in the past year and a half. We're just about to conclude what I hope will be the last one. But I have noticed some people have actually forgotten how to be happy. Have you noticed that? When our worlds shrink, our focus goes on to things that um, maybe we wouldn't have spent so much time focusing on in a normal world. So now it's time to open back up again. And how do we do that? Well, it's a bit of a struggle for some people. There's no doubt about that. For others, it's going to be pretty easy and everywhere in between. It's on a spectrum. But happiness is something that I really want you to purposefully go after and engage with in your life. Because the more you intentionally seek happiness, the happier you will be. So, there was a World Happiness 2021 report. Yeah, there was. There's an article about that on our webpage, which is theoldish.com. You can go there, type in happy, and you will find the article about the World Happiness Report. One of the things that that report said is that people are most happy when they're connected with others, have a purpose, and can take pleasure in the small moments each day that bring joy. Finding the opportunities to do all of those things, that's something that is incumbent on us. It may present itself, but if we don't go looking for it, it will be harder to find. And I feel like as the world opens back up again, we need to actually find it. Go out purposefully and find it. Now, if you live in Finland, you're way ahead of the races because it was the #1 happiest country in all the world. When you look at the larger groupings of countries, the continents, I know Western Europe is not a continent, but it is a grouping of countries. Western Europe, on the whole, was a happier area than every other area. So Finland, second was Iceland, Denmark, Switzerland, the Netherlands, Sweden, Germany, Norway, New Zealand, Australia. You have to go down to 14 and 15 to find the US and Canada. We've got a lot of catching up to do. But, don't you think that Canada and the US have a completely different take on life than Europeans do? I've spent a fair amount of time in Europe, and their attitude about life and work, completely different than ours. Completely different. It's almost like we live to work. They work to live. And life is so much more valued. The time with families, the social time, Sitting down to have a meal is an experience. It's just such a different cultural attitude to what is important. Maybe some lessons to be learned there, but being in one of those world's happiest countries kind of makes me feel good just about that. I'd rather not be in 14 and 15. I'd rather be higher up. So, you know, get going out there. Join me in looking for happiness. There was a study done in Canada, and it was done by Rivera, which is a series of long-term care facilities, and the International Federation on Aging. And according to that study, 70% of older seniors, so this is people older than the age of 75, reported that they would consider themselves happy. Now, this compares with 29% of 18 to 32-year-olds, 33% of 33 to 45-year-olds, and 47% of boomers, which are 46 to 65, and 43% of seniors, 66 to 74. So the people 75 and older, they got it going on. I think with age definitely comes a perspective on many things that we don't really have when we're younger. And it seems as though a perspective on happiness is one of those things. Happy, happy, happy. So, how do people become happy? Well, older adults, according to researchers, mindfully seek out things that bring joy and can increase happiness and boost mood. They are called, in this particular research study, joy spotters. They are specifically going out and looking for joy. Might be subconsciously, it might be consciously, but they are looking for joy. They are people who attend cultural events, engage in social activities, they look for new experiences, and they never stop learning. They keep the brain going and keep on learning and finding joy in all of these new experiences. So I know that what you're saying is, yeah, but for the last year and a half, we haven't been able to do that. What I'm saying is that from now forward, provided the world lets us and we do get opened back up, um, looking for these kinds of things very intentionally, becoming a joy spotter, that will benefit you. That will get you back track. And the happier you are, the happier you will be. Don't you find that when you focus on misery, you become more miserable? Everything seems to have a dose of misery attached to it. But when you are happy, same things happen. When you're happy and you're focused on being happy, you're able to withstand the stuff that isn't so happy, because the stuff that does make you happy is where your energy goes. And where your energy goes, your mood will definitely follow. Physical activity is described as a deal breaker. Yes, we have to move. You have to move your body 30 minutes a day. That's a deal breaker. 30 minutes a day, move your body. Go out for a walk, go and garden, walk to the post office instead of hopping in the car. There are all kinds of ways to move your body. Turn on the TV and find a YouTube exercise that you like. Chair yoga. If that's what you can do that. All kinds of free stuff. All kinds of it. There is no excuse, not at all. Search for those new experiences. If you want something to watch on TV, look on YouTube. I know a lot of the smart TVs can get YouTube, but if not, look on your computer, look on YouTube. There is a TED series called How to Be a Better Human, and it explores the idea of aging more joyfully. That is something that you might consider if you're having a hard time kind of getting started in this whole joy spotting thing. Check that out. Now, people generally need to have a sense of purpose. So make sure that your life has purpose. I know that for a lot of us over the last year and a half, there have been many things that we haven't been able to do that we normally do. Finding that sense of purpose again is ever so important. So definitely go and look for that because that brings meaning and fulfillment to your life. You know what it feels like when you get to the end of a day and you think, wow, that was a good day. I really checked a lot off my to-do list, or I accomplished this, or I learned that. You feel really fulfilled in the day. Seek that out. Don't wait for it to come to you because it might not. That's just the truth of it. It might not. But if you intentionally seek it, whole other ball game. Volunteering is something that increases well-being. Now, volunteering is something that for many people they've had to let go in the past year. That face-to-face connection with people. I know that there has still been volunteering going on over the phone or over Zoom. People have been doing the best that they can. But as the world opens up, look for volunteer activities that fit with your skill set and your competencies and fit with the ability to make you happy. Volunteering is always best when it's win-win. When you do something good, but when you come away feeling even better for it. Okay? Get back into the volunteer game. Learning a new skill, a language, gardening, something that is active. You know, a lot of us learn new skills around baking. Maybe growing vegetables was the skill that you learned in your lockdown. I did not. I didn't learn knitting. I didn't do that. I did start baking bread. I still bake bread. I've been baking my bread for well over a year now, and I enjoy it. I enjoy the baking of it, the kneading, the smell of my house as it's baking, and I enjoy eating it. Yes, I'm a little bit of a carboholic. That that was my skill. It was a recipe my daughter gave me, and I'm very grateful for that. Some of the sports activities are opening up again. Pickleball is something that I keep seeing advertised all over the place at resorts and rec centers everywhere. It is a sport that is designed for older adults to be able to pick it up and do it. Lawn bowling, I think that'll be starting up again very soon in many communities. Bocce ball, all of those types of things. Shuffleboard, for those of you who have rec centers with shuffleboards, all of that stuff, that provides exercise, social engagement, some friendly competition. Go for it. But don't forget to volunteer because those acts of kindness are really meaningful and they get your endorphins flowing because you know when you're being kind to your fellow humans. It's really important. Now, the last thing I want to share with you is something that I think we talked about, oh boy, this might be a year and a half ago on this show, long time ago. Laughing yoga. Have you heard of laughing yoga? You can find it on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and search laughing yoga. You cannot help but laugh as you watch this. It is absolutely remarkable. Here's what it does for you. With the therapy, it is a therapy. Laughter therapy is, in fact, a therapy, and laughing yoga takes that therapy into a slightly different dimension. It lifts your mood, it reduces stress, it strengthens your immune system, increases your energy level, improves your quality of life, and helps you manage hardship. I really like the reducing stress piece. It's controlled breathing. Now you've heard of square breathing, and there are many different types of it. It's not always called square breathing, but square breathing is when you breathe in for 2 seconds, hold for 2 seconds, breathe out for 2 seconds, hold for 2 seconds. So you're going around in a square. Breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold. That is square breathing. It's a form of controlled breathing. And when you do laughing yoga, that is also a form of controlled breathing. So not only is it reducing your stress by controlling that breathing routine in a very mindful way, but it is helping you to manage everything in your brain. Breathing is something, remember, that we do without thinking. It is automatic. It happens. It just happens. So when we seek to control it, we're actually controlling a lot of other things and processes that are going on in our brains and our bodies. So that's a really good exercise. Laughing yoga. I guarantee you, you will not be able to not laugh. It's a lot of fun. Even if you only do it once, don't even be embarrassed. If there are people around you, get them to join in. There are TED Talks on laughing yoga, so if you're a TED Talk fan, look that up. But laughing yoga is something you will find on YouTube a lot. There are a lot of them. So there you go. Be happy. Enjoy the sunshine. Enjoy your life. Look forward to the world opening back up again and getting your own stress levels under control and finding that joy in life that maybe a lot of us have lost or felt diminished in the last year and a half. Join us next week for another edition of the Oldish TV. And until then, take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and remember that it takes a village to age a senior. Bye.